Alright, so this is going to be personal worst SSR tier list that I made. Again, keyword personal. You don't have to like agree with me, but this is just how I feel that some of the worst SSRs in the game are on this list. This is why they're here, etc, etc. So yeah, I'm gonna explain my reasoning for each of these characters why they're on there, although some of them are pretty self-explanatory. And let me just say, even if they're like terrible SSRs, right, they can still be somewhat useful. Take Matrona, for example. Right now, she's very useful in the final boss Taizo event, so she's very useful there. She also can remove buffs, right? So just take that as an example, and I'll explain more why some of these units are where they are. Again, they don't have to be, you know, they don't have to be like shitty SSRs, but they're all these characters on here are terrible. So let's just hop straight into it then. So yeah, first up we got Green Helbram and Camilla. Now Camilla, I can see people are gonna be like, what? Right? Especially if you love Camilla, if you stan Camilla. She is probably one of the worst SSRs in the game for me. Just for me personally, you can have her at a higher pedestal, but for me, she's one of the worst SSRs in the game. She can be extremely useful though. She can be. Same thing with Green Helbram. So why they're terrible? They just do not do much. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know why that changed like that. They just don't do much, in all honesty. Green Helbram can be useful because he has his buff card. He can be used in Guild Boss, right? He has a AoE poison skill, so it's not like he is completely down in the dumpster. Although him being one of the worst SSRs, him having a buff card really does help when you do Guild Boss, because then you can get higher points, obviously, depending on which Guild Boss it is, of course, right? So that's why I said he can be useful. He can also be used as a association link for, I believe, like King, Fat King, some other people, I think Gustav, but yeah, he can be useful somewhat, so that's why I have him there. Again, still one of the worst SSRs in the game, but just high, I guess high tier garbage, I guess, right? Camilla's actually like, oh man, I don't even know. Camilla, she's not the worst, like she's not, in terms of this list, she's not the worst, right? She's not the pinnacle of trash. But when you face her, it's actually very, very easy to counter her because she doesn't really do much. Yes, her skill 1 has a stun effect, which is the same thing as Goddess Elizabeth, right? But it's like her damage isn't good. Her skill 2 is terrible because it's 1 hit, lifesteal, right? Even though she lifestealed, it's like borderline close to like useless because of the fact that she just doesn't do enough damage, right? Even if you build her, it's like, right? She's not really impressive. Yeah, she can transform, but again, like her transformation is just so like, yeah. So for me, she's just gonna have to stay at the worst SSR spot in the game for me. But again, she has her uses. She can stun, she can transform, which fully recovers her HP. She can remove debuffs once she transforms. She can remove buffs from the enemy team. So she has her uses. She definitely has her uses. All right. So then we go to has some utility, right? So the people that have utility, Zanari's still garbage. She's absolute trash. She is still garbage, but I cannot deny that she has some utility, being the fact that she can be ran as a sub to get you more cosmetic upgrades. She also can remove buffs on her skill 2, which heals, and then she also, I believe it's her passive is to like remove buffs or something. I don't know. I forgot her passive, but it is an extremely useful passive. It's just her stats suck. Her skill 1 sucks. Her skill 1 is literally like a single hitting target seal card. So you can seal their ult gauge, but it's just not good. It's really not good. You can't even really use her for the Grey Demon either, even though she's green, which also like puts her at a very, very low spot in the game. So yeah, to me, she is definitely one of the worst SSRs in the game, right? Benamaro, yeah, honestly, I was expecting him to be lower for me, but after like taking into consideration, he has weakness, right? He also has a way to self-proc his weakness with his skill 2. and he also decreases defense related stats, I think by like 20%, 30%, and then 40%. So yeah, he actually does have some utility. The problem is he's not that great in terms of substats, in terms of stats itself. His passive is meh. I think he just increases his attack depending on how many skills you use, right? So yeah, he's definitely not the greatest, and there's a lot more reds in the game to replace him. So again, not the greatest, obviously one of the worst SSRs in the game. You can make him look good. You definitely can make him look good, but it's like without, you know, having those support units, it's just he's bad. He's bad. Again, he can be used on the Crimson Demon. If you really don't have anyone else, he can be used on the Crimson Demon, but most like new players won't have him anyway because he was a collab character exclusive. So yeah. That's why he's in the has some utility box. Red Estarossa. Red Estarossa, I love Red Estarossa, I do, but it's just, no. Yeah, he can't. He's just one of the worst SSRs in the game. It's pretty self-explanatory. He needs to be debuffed for his passive to proc, right? He also doesn't really have anything other than Blackout. And his commandment, even his commandment is like because he doesn't have a way to become immune to his own commandment. So that sucks. But yeah, his skill 1 does disable recovery skills. That's good, right? His skill 2 is a cold destruction card. So if you know Kyo, you already know how good that is. The problem is this Estarossa isn't like Kyo at all, because Kyo's cold destruction, Kyo can put ignites, and yes, if you put him alongside Kyo, he can do the same thing as Kyo, but Kyo's substats are better, right? He has more of a crit damage. He can do a lot more. I'm telling you, he can do a lot more damage, right? But Estarossa next to Kyo is really good. It's just, other than that, Red Estarossa really doesn't have any uses. He can be used in Crimson Demon, but you really have to build a team around him. So yeah, if Kyo's passive worked on deathmatch, that would be one of the deadliest things in the rotations in the game for the Crimson Demon, because then you have 2 people with cold destruction. You consistently put ignites. It'd be crazy. It actually be crazy. All right, let's move to Matrona. Matrona, right? Blue Matrona. She's Blue Matrona isn't like she. How do I say this? She is bad. It was really hard to place her because I didn't want to put her as one of the worst SSRs in the game, but she is one of the worst SSRs in the game. She can remove buffs, which is good, and she also buffs giants, but it doesn't work in PvP, so that's really a hindrance to herself, because she can't buff Droll on PvP, whereas that new Wedding Diane that came out can. So yeah, that's why she's there, right? We got Rimuru. Rimuru, yeah, he's pretty bad, but he does have some utility. He can become immune to debuffs with his stance. He has Rupture, which is really good. He can increase, I believe, his defense-related stats, or it's either attack-related stats. I can't remember off rip, right? He's also a blue unit, which sucks because there's a lot of greens. But yeah, that's why he's there. Blue Brawler Ban, right, or Bon, right? He's really just useful for the Red Demon. That's it. That's why he has some utility. Then we go to Elaine. Elaine is exclusive, and also she's really just used as a support, and even then her support skill sucks because it's not attack related stats. Unfortunately, the meta shifted to if you increase attack related stats, you're better. So in a way, she's similar to this Green Helbram, but you see the problem is Green Helbram can be summoned on part 1 tickets, and he's on a lot of banners, and Elaine's not. She's exclusive. So yeah, there you go. Alette has some utility, but again, she's not going to be used much because 1, she really doesn't have any survivability, and 2, her utility is mainly for Guild Boss as well. Guild Boss, you can decrease their defense related stats if they're not immune to it, that is, right? And you're going to be dealing some high damage. Her ultimate is also very good too, because she increases defense related stats for everyone. So very good there. But yeah, she's one of the worst SSRs in the game too. Although she is fun. She is very fun. Garbage. These are units that are just straight garbage. I don't care. They are just garbage. They can work. I'm not saying they can't work, but these are garbage. You're pretty much like close to never gonna use these units. I'm just gonna be honest with you. So we got Green Lilia, trash. Really, she's just used for the back. Her skill 2, I believe, is to increase the damage taken right? So you can put that on the enemy and they're gonna take more damage, but it's like you have King who can purify, you got Blue Leia who can purify, you got a lot of units that can heal and cleanse, you got Zeldas who can remove debuffs. Yeah, pretty much next to borderline garbage. Probably never gonna touch that unit unless it's like for a showcase or something. Gilia, same thing with Gilia. Her kit is not bad. It's just everything single hitting target, which sucks. Like if she removed buffs and it was AoE, I would honestly like put her higher, but it's just no. Nah, she's garbage. Her passive can be used in deathmatch, but nowadays we have people like Red Elaine, and that's another reason why Red Elaine isn't on here. Her passive is very, very good. So yeah, Gilia you're probably never gonna use either. Deldry, yeah, you guys know. Roxy, okay. Roxy just like again, this is my personal opinion. She doesn't do anything. I've legit never fought a Roxy in this game yet, and she's been out for like over a month, I believe now. So I haven't faced a Roxy yet. So that should give you guys a clear indication of where she's at in terms of SSRs, right? So she's garbage. She has Explode, but it's like it sucks. And then her passive, I believe, is like she gains all if she kills someone with explosion damage or something. I don't know, right? Just trash, just all around trash, right? Mono probably you can make work. It's just she did get buffed, right, with her passive skill being that she increases damage, like she increases her own damage by 50% per bleeding. It's like per bleeding, poison, and then there's another one, I just can't remember it. I think it's bleeding, poison, and shocked. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it is really good passive, it is. The only thing is she's single hitting target, and then her skill 1 has Sever, but her substat crit chance is already like I believe 100%. Yeah, it's weird. They didn't do her kit justice, I'm not gonna lie. But again, she can be used, I think, if you build her up with Fairy King, like Small Wings King coming, she can be used. She can definitely be used with him, but it's just gonna be hard to showcase her, right? Halloween Gilia, same thing, never really gonna use her. She's also exclusive, which sucks, so she'll be back next year, but again, never really gonna use that unit. So I was gonna put her never gonna use, but some people might, right, just might build her up because she is good for a link, right? So some people might do that. You could have her 6 out of 6 from the free copies, and then you could put her as a link for like Jericho or something, I don't know. But people probably will use Red Gilia instead, because Red Gilia you can literally just have 6/6 because she's on like the part 1 ticket, she's on a couple banners. So yeah, that's why Red Gilia is probably going to be used more than Halloween Gilia. So there you go. Blue Merlin is shit. She can't really do anything because of the fact that she needs to have the enemies debuffed. With Kale, yeah, there's a slight, like she has a slight advantage, but even then it doesn't really change the fact that she's garbage. Also, she has what Slater has, but it's not, no. It's just not that great. She can D-rank skills, which is good, but then like she can only deplete the ultimate gauge depending on the number of skills D-ranked at rank 3. So yeah, like when she gets her gold card, that's when she's useful, which is bad. That's very, very bad. So yeah, there you go for that. Then you got Blue Hendrickson, who's just very, very poorly built. I really wish they would have made him a lot better, but he is a beginning unit. Like he was literally at the start of the game, so I understand why he's not as good. He's also blue, which sucks because greens will stomp him out. His kit's bad. Yeah, just not a good unit, man. Just not a good unit. Red Elizabeth, same thing, not a good unit. Her skill 1 is an attack card, but then it heals the like the ally with the lowest HP, which is terrible. Because if it was an AoE heal, and it is at rank 3, it is an AoE heal at rank 3, but it's like no, just no. And I believe she also like increases defense related stats on her skill 2, but it's no. Just no. Redmond Speed, same thing. You're never going to use him, so he's like garbage. He's one of the worst SSRs in the game. Me personally, I do like Redmond Speed, but I'm not going to let that like bias, like make me biased and make him like up there. He's just garbage. Skill 1 is just like Escanor's, where he can build up his ult gauge, and I know what they were doing. If you use his commandment and then you use his skill, you have the advantage because you can legit just use his skill and get ult gauge, right? But it doesn't work. It really doesn't work because most units nowadays just literally merge skills, and it's not good. So he unfortunately is just straight garbage. You're probably never gonna use him either, right? He has weak point, an AoE weak point, which can come in clutch, but unfortunately, again, you're never gonna use him. And then the last one, these are units you're literally probably never gonna touch. Halloween Meliodas trash, he's exclusive too, so you're not gonna get him. This blue Helbram, like, just beyond garbage. Like, if I had another tier, I would put him below, never gonna use, right? First off, he's a horrible reward for, I think it's like top 100 or something like that. Horrible reward, not even worth the merit points. Terrible. Absolute garbage. You can look up his skills on your own. I'm not gonna waste my time or my breath on this unit. Just shit. Blue Fat King, probably never gonna touch either. His kit sucks. I did a showcase on him. He performed fairly well actually, but the problem is nowadays the meta shifted. And I damn sure I'm never going to probably touch him again, unless, of course, he's used for a final boss or something. But other than that, no, never going to touch him, no. Green Baller Band, same thing, or they call him Outlaw Band or some shit like that. No, never going to use him. He has a single hitting, like, snatch, very bad. He also has an attack skill, very bad. He can heal up, like, damage at the end of the turn, which can be useful, but it's such a low heal that it doesn't matter, so very bad. It's just like he's just unfortunately like a shit unit. Millium, straight garbage. Millium is straight garbage. Her skill 1 has spike, but it doesn't matter because her crit damage is shit. Her crit chance is garbage. Of course, she can build up her crit chance for every skill she uses, but in this meta, yeah, that's literally like worth nothing now. So horrible unit. Hater. Green Hawk is buffed, but you're probably after this Goddess Elizabeth thing goes away, you're not gonna touch Hawk. He gets buffed again, I believe. I forgot. I think it is Fairy King, right? He gets buffed again during his festival, but you're probably still never gonna touch that unit. But yeah, that was basically the worst SSRs tier list ranked. I'm sorry if you guys feel strongly about this, but this is me personally. Again, take that, keyword personal opinion of where I think these units stand. I think these are, without a doubt, the worst units in the game. You're probably legit not gonna build them up for your box. Maybe Matrona, like Red Estarossa. There's a few hidden gems in here. Camilla, but other than that, like, no. Like Zanari just for being on a sub. But yeah, again, these are the worst SSRs in the game, but again, some of them can be useful. We could have a final boss one day and green Outlaw Band, right? They're never going to use one. You could use him all the time. Like, he might be the best unit for that final boss, but it doesn't change the fact that you're never going to use him anywhere else, right? So yeah, take that into consideration. But other than that, there's no really, like, Gale Thunder was a heavy choice for me too. So was Greymore, but they're much more useful than any of these. Like, to be honest, they're much more useful than any of the guys on the list. Let's be honest. But yeah, Jericho's definitely better than any of these people too. She has a one-hitter quitter, and then she, of course, if she doesn't crit, she's garbage. But you know how it is. She can be useful. But yeah, basically that's it, guys. So if you did enjoy, consider leaving a like, comment, and subscribe for more Grand Cross content. Also, be sure to join our Discord. We would love to have you. But yeah, with that said, I will see you all next time.